I heard somewhere that this generation that's coming up is the first generation that will not surpass their parents in education and in income. You know, and I'm like, wow, the dropout rate, especially for young black males, is ridiculous. Sometimes I wonder as a parent, you know, what are we not doing? You know, what's changed?
Remember that, you own it.
Mr. Huff, Mr. Shear's ready for your interview. I need someone colombiana y americana. Americana como tú.
A very supportive background. It's financial aid and internship training, which can lead to a great job. I really feel good about where I'm headed, you know? After all, it's my life, my choice.
I actually got my name because of Hugh Hefner. Yeah. The main girl that he used to date, I don't know her name, but she used to call him Puffin. And in my head, I was like, I'm like Hugh Hefner. I have like mad sexy girls and shit. So I'm gonna call myself Puffin, and that's how I got the name. For the 2 years when I was homeless, I met so many punks, and it just like made me realize like, oh, that's what I am, a punk, okay. Because I didn't know, I was just doing whatever I wanted to do. I wasn't going by labels and shit. It's like a little bit over yet, because it's like being homeless and then like couch surfing now and then. And find a random house to go to, like a random friend that we know. So in the daytime, the parents were gone, so we'd stay there. And in the nighttime, when they're coming back, we'll leave.
At first, it used to be hard because, like a mother and your first daughter, you want her to be a certain way. Why can't she wear a dress, or she always dressed like a boy? And she probably felt she wanted her ways, or, you know, living here and come whenever she wants, go back. And I wasn't going for that.
He told me to take all my shit and leave her house. It's basically kicking out. I guess my mom thought I was staying, like, I was living somewhere, but I really wasn't. I didn't want to tell her that because I didn't want to, like, I didn't want her worrying, and then it's like, whatever, man, you kicked me out, you didn't even know where I was going. So I was like, whatever.
There are kids out there who are really, really struggling, and they were not served by any of the institutions that are supposed to serve. They, like, fell through all the cracks. It's not because of a flaw in them, it's because of a fundamental flaw in, like, you know, our education system, in, like, our justice system, and, like, pretty much just name a system.
Like homeless. Yeah, that's the first time I heard it. That's why I was like, yeah, I never. Because when she always said she lived with her friend, she knows she could have come and go and come back whenever she wanted, and mommy would be there for her. We were really like had nowhere to stay. I remember one time we slept on the train because we were on the train already and we had no money, nothing. And I was like, yo, where are we going? If we go, like, we can't get back on the train. I don't really have anywhere to go. You don't have anywhere to go. And it's like nothing's gonna happen, so we just fall asleep on the train. I let her sleep first, and then she let me sleep. And we really just like rode the train all the way to the Bronx and then came back to Brooklyn and went back to the Bronx and then came back, and it was like late afternoon, so we got off in the city.
If I were ever in that situation, like, I would hope at least like one of my friends would let me crash for, like, even if it's a day. It's not even a full day, like a couple of hours, like, just to, like, get my head straight. I remember, like, when she was, like, staying up in Harlem, I could just like tell whenever I saw like the look on her face. She was like, I knew she was down and beat, but she was just like, always had like that look in her eyes, like, yo, like I'm not giving up.
We're not open like mother and daughter. She's not open to me, and I'm not open to her to ask her, you know, where were you, why you didn't go, what, you know? I do ask questions. That's how I was raised. My mother never asked me no question. I always feel she out there, and she, I mean, not the best, but she'll be able to take care of herself.
Mama gonna look it up. That's your brother?
Yeah, it's my little brother. It's my brother Kevin.
You look angry. What's wrong?
He's not dangerous at all. He's a teddy bear. He plays football.
Oh, yeah?
Well, coming to my house. This is where I live. And all this noise. My name is Keith White. Well, they call me Too Black to Be White now. And I'm a skateboarder. And I've been skateboarding for about 16 years. I was the first kid, the only kid in the neighborhood to be skateboarding at the time.
My name is Marguerite Glover. I am Keith White. I'm his mom. Technically, I'm his aunt, but I've had custody of him since he was born. If anybody ever refers to me as his, aunt, he gets kind of mad. So it's like, I've been mom, he calls me mom. So it's just kind of, that's our relationship. My house has become like the international house. Yes. People are always here, skateboarding crowds. I never know who I'm gonna see. I'm like, oh, hey, how are you? Oh, hey, how are you? I go downstairs sometimes, and there's a basement full of people that I don't even know was in the house.
I live down here. I live in the basement. The best part of the house.
I'm Shake's happening.
So like apparently they're just saying like something about each one is like that's on my ass. This is how we do it. I get to draw on it. This room is sick. Yes, this
room is pretty live.
I think he did that for school. He just gave it to me, and and haven't asked about it since. Is that something? Basically, you have to keep Keith engaged. Mm-hmm. He has to be nurtured and enriched and all of that. Because if he doesn't do it, his the behavior would be detrimental.
These are the kinds of kids who there's no point in them sitting in school wasting their time when they don't have a reason to be there. These are the kind of kids, if you give them a reason to do something, if they're motivated internally, the sky is the limit. There's nothing they can't do. You know what I mean? But it's like they have to know what it is that they want.
I made a promise to my grandfather before he died. I was like, yo, one day I want you to see me on TV for doing what I love, because he my grandfather was he was a huge drive with my skateboarding also, because he would watch me from the window in the living room upstairs while I would skate and always bust my ass, and he'd be like, yo, keep trying. Son, you ain't see that yet? It's that new dude. Oh shit. Yeah.
Sometimes I see him and he's so and he just gets that, when he goes into that skateboarding groove, the music, he embraces the whole culture. He doesn't give a damn if you think he look funny, if you think he talk funny, if he doesn't, he tell you he's just being Keith. That's always his slogan. I'm just being Keith, man. I like that about him.
wherever, like, be it Virginia Beach, Cali, wherever. Yo, you're from New York? Yeah. Are you from Brooklyn? Where are you from? Like, I'm from Brooklyn. Or where it's like, do people still get shot and stabbed out there? And I'm like, yeah, it depends on what hood you go to. Have you ever been shot at or stabbed? I'm like, I've heard gunshots. I've seen niggas let shots on my block. I didn't get shot at. As soon as I hear gunshots, run right to my house. Some dude freaking on some nigga named Tyreek Sutton, they called him Curls. He got shot on Flat Pushing 36. Bro, you hear about that?
Oh yeah, I know.
You know him? You know him?
On the other block from me. He lived from Brooklyn Ave. You ever seen Big? He's like Big.
Oh, you know about
his brother.
His brother got shot?
Wow. Yeah, you know where Fat Air lives?
Yeah.
He got shot right by the deli.
That's two niggas get shot.
They said his head was clean off.
Wait. His head got shot off? That's what I heard.
And apparently nobody knows his real age.
He said it was 18.
That's how much they said he was on the news. And people was like, oh, he's older than that.
There's some kids, they've got their swag, they're all hooked into the system, they understand how it works, you know? And then you see kids who, like, they're just picking it up, you know? And there's kids who are trapped way the hell out in Brownsville and, you know, and they don't even know about skateboarding yet. I've met people who are adults who grew up in, like, the Bronx and have never even been to Manhattan.
I tell people I'm from Brownsville and they're like, wow. Then they get to know me and they're like, you don't seem like you're from Brownsville. You seem like you're from, like, maybe like Midtown or like Lower East Side, like just chill.
To everyone else, it's the worst neighborhood in Brooklyn, and it's just gang war all out. Every Father's Day, around the corner from my house, they have a barbecue and someone gets shot. It's always a shootout at the end. So it's just how it is.
As a kid, it's hard to see, but after a while, it's just like nothing to you.
I want, in my lifetime, I want someone to hit this wall. I want to see someone 50 this. At least board sliding.
When you go over to talk about skating, I'll see like someone fall and start bleeding and everyone's like, oh, I can't watch. And I'm just like, whatever, I'm going to go skate. I've seen worse things than that.
You have kids from certain neighbors, they don't have the means, whatever it is, but a skateboard, you're free. Now they're not just hanging out in their neighborhood, now they're hanging out in the city.
If you're by yourself with a board, you can go for 12 hours if you wanted to, trying to learn a trick, you know, and just be on your own. And that's what I did. And now these guys, you know, they're robbing people in the neighborhood, running in my building, and I'm not in the building because I'm out in the city skating. Once my friends started joining gangs, I just like separated myself. And it's like, yo, this is solo. You know, I don't need these guys to do this.
See this school here? PS 178? It's like the worst school in like Brooklyn, I guess, or the worst school in New York. I went here.
My friend Mikey got shot in his head, you know, a couple weeks ago. And I feel like that probably could have been me because it was over something really little. And he wasn't even one of those guys that were in gangs. So I feel like if I stayed in the hood and just followed those guys, I'd probably be dead. I don't get surprised too much when I find out people got killed. But it's just like, when it's people I know, it's just like, damn, yo, like, why it couldn't have been like someone I hate.
This is gonna sound weird. Since I was 12, I wanted to have a family of my own because my family was so fucked up. To describe what it was like growing up, I have no idea. I didn't get to see it growing up. I got to see it as a teenager and now and an adult. You know what I mean? Even if kids have like a shitty home, like they're outside, they're with friends, they, you know, get to learn to be social, you know, from 5, 6, 7, go outside and play. It wasn't really none of that. It was stay inside with me, be scared of the world. But when I started getting older, like, you know, 12 years old, 13 years old, and realizing that the reason why, you know, I'm not getting to see my dad, not because he doesn't want to or because he's not trying, it's because my mom's not letting him at all, you know what I mean? And, you know, having grown up as a kid and having her tell me, oh, your dad doesn't want to see you, and then getting older and realize, yo, you're lying to me, it pissed me off. If I have someone who only cares about themselves and who will put you down because you aren't doing what they want and who just makes you feel locked up and makes you hate yourself, to survive that, you have to become selfish, you have to become an asshole, you have to become a liar. And that's what I was, and I hated it.
I don't know a lot about all of the pro skaters, but one thing I noticed is that a lot of them come from like solid 2-parent homes. You have to have an enormous amount of support.
Everybody has it rough in a different way. Like it was like, I was always poor. Like we never had money like the whole time. So it was that. It was being emotionally fucked up. It was having a mom who didn't know how to be a mom, a dad who wanted to be a dad but who wasn't allowed to even be there. You know what I mean? To try. And you know, everybody was just fucked up financially. It was just a struggle. Like there was a point where like me and my dad, when we were living, like seriously, no bullshit, we had to eat ice and peanut butter for a week. You know what I mean? Shit like that. I wanted to give up so many times. You know what I mean? There was points where I was like fuck it, I don't want to do, like I got tired of fighting. I needed friends, and like, because the thing about it was like, I was the kind of person to be friends with anybody. I wasn't a gangster kid. I'm still not a gangster to this day, but I know how to adapt. So I hung up with the gangster kids and did, you know, the bullshit they did. I stole shit. I remember I got caught stealing. Cops took me home. Dad punched the shit out of me. It was bad. From 14 to 16, it was just that. Like my dad, he just never wanted me to like make the same mistakes he did. Because like, you know, he's been in jail and stuff like that before. And he was just always so worried that, you know, he was not even worried, petrified that I would end up the same way. It was that same year when I was 16 that I started skating. Like seriously, if it wasn't for skating, I would either kill myself or be killing people. Like I'm not joking, I'm not kidding.
New York City is just too amazing, yo. Like, you can be a kid who's just like a straight skate punk, but listens to hip hop and reggae and like R&B and dubstep and all of that crap. And it's just like, music is music, man. But this is my style. I'm a punk kid, but you'll see me at a rave or you'll see me at the Wu-Tang concert, you're just getting down and dirty with the best of them, the rest of them.
This song's about skateboarding.
What happened to skate punk? I miss skate punk. The like 3 dope like hometown punk bands are playing as a freaking mini rap and a fun box. Like it could be like that, but honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I do miss skate punk. Like there's some really good music.
Being punk, you're like not afraid to do certain things. And skateboarding, like you're not afraid like to just do whatever. If you break something, you break it. People will look at me and be like, "Bro, you're not punk. You just wear all black all the time." Punk people have like this and that, like studs and like leather jackets and shit like that. And really, I don't think it's about that.
Honestly, skate fashion is like your regular like style of fashion. Let's say you got into like punk music before you even picked up a skateboard and you start skating. You're like your style of clothing is gonna be like that of a punk rocker. If you're like a hip hopper or a hood kid, usually baggy jeans with some fresh kicks and a baggy t-shirt and a fitted. It doesn't matter, man. Like clothing doesn't make the skateboarder, man. It's the skater which makes the skateboarder.
Nobody makes me bleed my own fucking blood.
There are still some girls who appreciate it because of the fact that either they have like a brother or a sibling that skates, and usually like when they see someone skate, it'll remind them of that like person that's close to them. They'll be like, "Hey, what's up? Yeah, like I like watching you skate. How are you doing?"
In school, I don't know what it was. Like, once I left the house, I just found some weird charisma. I was just always telling jokes and this, that, and third. Like, in high school, I was like a nerd who got girls. So, like, no one could tell me shit.
Everybody wants what I have or had. That's how I feel. It's always been like that, and especially with girls. Seriously, you didn't want to start hopping on this wave until I was on this wave, and I hopped off of it. Like, come on. Title all you biters.
I just had to tell a girl today that told me at a party Friday, I saw you flirting with everybody. What's wrong with you? Like, I was like, girl, I'm single. Like, leave the fuck alone.
You weren't with me like when I used to get jumped and get my skateboard robbed by kids just because I was a freaking black kid on a skateboard.
Sweetie, I had holes in my face and pink hair. Why do you think I give a shit about your struggle and where we were?
And I had holes in my face and crazy ass colors in my hair too.
Well, and so you should have known what was gonna happen to you if you went somewhere that wasn't gonna like.
I got to be like a freaking
What makes you think nobody knows about these things and they're primitive before you? Like, oh,
because you never saw it. Not everyone's you, Nikki. We're some holier than thou mentality.
She thinks of me as like a selfish ass person who's always inconsiderate and thoughtless or whatever, and stupid and retarded. But apparently not. If I'm doing all of these things for people I care about.
You have a ton of, they call them disengaged youth. They're not in college, you know, and they're not employed. And they're mostly Black and Latino, you know, and they're coming from particular neighborhoods in this city. And so a lot of those kids find their way into skateboarding, which, I mean, you think about the other things that disengaged kids are doing.
I rape kids, nope. I eat grass, nope. I smoke split, true, nigga, shit, girl, hop off my dick. Two, like to be white and me killing kids. Put your umbrella. That's why I fucks with you. True, bro. That's a true brother word. That's some real shit. New York City itself has always had some sort of like elitist like mindset.
You really have to like push yourself 1,000% more. You know, it's like it wasn't solely your skating. It's like your character, who you were, your style, and like, you know, back then everything was about style too. So New York had a definitely special style in skateboarding.
We go harder because we want to get the fuck out of the hood. This is straight up.
Everyone's dream in the hood is to make it out, and people come right back. I've made it out the hood a couple of times. Moved down south to Florida for a few years, and I always came back.
Basically, there's so much money in skateboarding that if you're that good, it can fucking change your life. You can go from like not having shit to like have anything you want. You know what I mean? If you're that good and somebody's gonna back you, do it. Do it to your fullest advantage.
The odds are of being a pro skater now, it's a lot harder because, you know, a lot more is expected from you. But, you know, if you have that style and you have the things that you do and you do it well, you will get picked up by somebody, and then you eventually turn pro. You know, you still have to do the job. You know, the job is going out with a photographer, going out with a filmer, get that stuff documented and just put it out there in the world. And once it catches fire, you know, people will know that you're the next big thing that people want.
Skaters today are not anywhere near as lost as the guys that I knew.
We were younger, and especially back then, there's only a few people doing it, so there was more eyes on the prize, like who somebody's gonna pick up. And yeah, it was my main focus, that's it.
I fucking rode BMX more than I skated, but I actually got good at skating. Coming from nothing to like traveling all over the place, like it was like shocking. I didn't even think that shit would happen.
Now it's a lot more mainstream, although I think that, you know, there's just a lot more space for kids to be whatever they want to be, and there's space for kids to try on sort of this identity. I heard once that like the average salary of a professional skateboarder was like $30,000 a year. But I mean, $30,000 a year is more than you make at McDonald's, or, you know what I mean? We're talking about kids who, a lot of them were not graduating from high school, were not, you know what I mean? So I think that that is pretty phenomenal.
I actually miss the old New York. Like, believe it or not, like, I miss the ruggedness and like dealing with like grimy shit all the time. You know what I mean? They keep me on their P's and Q's. And now everybody's like soft. Like, I I remember growing up, leaving your house, you had to deal with shit. On the train, you had to deal with shit skating. Like, point blank. And like nowadays, it's like a fucking Disney World. Like, look at Midtown. It was the funnest spot to skate. You know what I mean? Like, you got pimps, hoes, fucking crackheads, dope heads. You got everything over there. Like, now, it ain't nothing but fucking tourists, you know? Like, you barely skate. It's like, all people like looking up, like, get the fuck out the way. Keep it moving, you know?
Through my company, Fiber, I work with the city to design and revive skate parks and encourage safe community involvement around the city.
One of the things that I was looking for is a place for a skateboarder to go and where people are not going to hassle you. And this was a perfect place. So thank you very much. Have fun and enjoy it.
Rob definitely should have been given a big up. But you know, Rob knows in his heart, he knows what he did, what he created, and everyone from New York knows that Rob definitely, he worked the park, you know, he did it.
Rob is a very humble and modest dude. All the kids cheered and said his name, that's all that matters. The people that knew who really helped build the park gave him the recognition and support. Rob got what he wanted. He got to find the right place.
Point blank, there's people that have a lot of money and they start a skate company and they don't skate. So obviously they just in it for the money. Like me, actual skater is 100% skating and it's ran by a skateboarder. You know what I mean? So it's just like, fuck all that shit. Like, I'm doing it for love, I'm not doing it for money.
People don't understand he works hard all the time. He's building a new park for us and no one cares. Those guys need to freaking respect Rob Campbell.
You obviously want to make money because you run the business. You know what I mean? Yes, that's the whole goal. But it's more than money. To me, it's more about the love and giving back to skateboarding. You know what I mean? That's what I'm about. Giving back to skateboarding.
Hey, Penny, you want to show them that book about Harold? Remember the one you said that Grandma had?
Who is that?
Harold.
Yeah? Do you know Harold?
Yeah.
I didn't get to meet Harold. She's too little.
I guess it was my sister's 15th birthday. She and her friends were hanging out in front of the house. And I remember because I was standing in the kitchen and I looked out and I see this crazy looking kid hamming up for these girls. So that's kind of what he looked like, right, at that time.
I met Harold actually at the Brooklyn Banks. That's pretty much we all met, like everyone from Queens, Manhattan, Staten Island, Brooklyn, Bronx. Brooklyn Banks is pretty much the Mecca. That's where everyone met up. And with Harold, it was like pretty much insta friends.
Back in that time, this neighborhood was kind of rough, you know? So Harold was coming from the projects over on Avenue C and like, you know, I mean, he knew what was up, like he knew everybody.
And Harold was pretty much the guy that opened the doors for us to hang out on the Lower East Side when it wasn't even like, it wasn't easy to get there either. Like after Avenue A, that shit, like, man, you get killed out there.
Skating with Harold, rest in peace. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was just like, always had a smile on his face, and if you was down, he'll find a way to make you happy.
Bustic Douglas.
There was definitely this thing of sort of like, fuck, man, you know, I'm this black kid and I'm not getting treated the same. I'm not getting the same things that everybody else gets, you know, and why did I get screwed this way? And, you know, he always was that, there was always that energy about him, you know, that I always found that to be particularly like, just like really, I don't know, just really deep and like really painful.
My first time like knowing him, like seeing him like was from the movie Kids, and what he did was just like mad chill. Dude was just like a freaking gangster. Everyone wanted to say Harold was a crazy ass dude who did like mad drugs or whatever, but like yo, he lived his life like any one of us would. It's just crazy and sad to see that like he went he went at such a young age.
He was the New York legend. He still is a legend, even though he's not on this earth anymore. He's still a legend, you know what I mean? So it's just like, definitely miss him a lot. I wish he was still here, but eventually, you know, I'm gonna pass and we all gonna pass and hopefully I'll see him in the next life, you know what I mean?
after kids, Harold would come and he'd be like, yo, these people, they flew me in a private jet. We went to Anguilla. We were eating lobster. I never had lobster before. We had champagne, you know what I mean? So he was just partying it up, and he was almost like a mascot. He was having all these adventures, and I just think that he's not really known for having self-control.
There's no real dark side of skateboarding unless like you're doing drugs or alcohol. Like that has nothing to do with skateboarding. That's like your own personal being. Try to keep kids off the streets is falling into that trap of like just being a bad person out there, you know? Life is not like a movie, like what they see with the whole gangster stuff. It's like, life is real, life could be very short.
I always wanted him to get what he deserved, but like he just had to scream louder and act crazier and be funnier and just be the absolute most lovable person like in the universe. And I mean, he was, but I mean, he was still really sad. There was a lot of like sadness and pain.
Don't give me no interview, man.
This is the bracelet that Harold made for my mom. She actually polished it up for this purpose. It's actually LIBBY, but
Well, I actually had the idea for the Harold Hunter Foundation, although obviously it wasn't the Harold Hunter Foundation right when Justin died. You know, it was just sort of like, this can't happen to somebody else. Like, what are we doing? How are we gonna, take care of these guys? Because it just became very clear that like skateboarding, it's not just a sport, it's like a way of being. Obviously it's to honor Harold and his legacy, but I mean, his legacy is his family, and he was the person who his family, stretched across the earth. Skaters are from age like 4 these days to like, age 50, whatever the age is, you know what I mean? But it's like, I want us to be able to make sure that those guys get what they deserve. There are still kids in this city who are lost boys, for sure. In my dream world, like we will get to the point where Harold Hunter Foundation can provide health insurance. The awesome thing about skaters is that they take care of each other and they take care of themselves. You know what I mean? You're just there as a resource.
Skateboarding makes you grow up faster because you got to go through a lot of things by yourself. You have to think about it. I'm like 5 feet tall and I'm about to jump over 7 stairs with a skateboard. I have to man up and just do it.
There's racism in the world, and so it permeates everything. And, I don't think of it as you can be racist or not racist. I just think of it as you're on a spectrum of how racist are you? How aware of how racist are you? And that goes for everyone, everyone of every color has internalized this.
I really don't know what it is about black people when they just want to tear each other down for like being different.
Honestly, like the black community for a while has not like learned how to be like open, and that's why like everyone feels it's like, yo, how come black people can't get along? Just because like, yo, we just really don't want to be open. We choose to be intolerant and ignorant, and like for the ones who we're just like, yo, you know what, like fucking like let's do what we gotta do. Let's be open. Let's try new things for a change.
If you're trying to be different in the hood, people are just not with it.
It's
they
like
just
I think that's what it is. Not so much black people, it's just that hood mentality. If you're
not with them, you're not. Like they're gonna do anything they can to like break you down.
Being bullied by like people who you thought were your peers and friends, and then just having like people you would see in the streets. Like you're not associating with them anyway, but like them from your neighborhood, and they would just try and jack you. It's like messed up because like these people are supposed to be like supporting you, even if you don't talk to them. It's like, hey, like I see you doing your thing, like keep your head up. But some people just hate and they want to like bring you down.
Growing up, it wasn't accepted being a black skater. It was like, oh, you're trying to act white. Oh, why do you do that? And it was just like ignorance. I used to get in the fights here and there. You had to hold your own, you know what I mean? It was just like, and damn sure couldn't be a punk because then you get fucked with every day. When you show that you have hand skills, niggas don't want to fuck with you. You're like, all right, leave that dude alone.
We got heckled because of race, especially because, people, especially in New York and the East, it's like, oh, you're a white boy skating. Like, what are you doing?
There's like too many haters in the neighborhood. Like, we used to get a lot of flack for it. That's why we always just like went to other neighborhoods because we didn't know nobody. But there was like we always saw somebody skating. It like helped us to progress and become like better skaters and better people because we got to like start immersing ourselves in different cultures at a young age.
Whenever I would take the time to like look back into skateboarding history, like there were always black guys there, like always, like always.
New York City history, there's a lot of black people. So.
Not even California, just at skateboarding period. Like even girls back then too. I think what it is just like, not to, I mean, this is America. Like black people were kind of like the outcasts, and skateboarding is where weird people go. So it's like, you know, you don't really belong anywhere, black guy. So go over there, be a skateboarder, and it fits. Like, cause at skateboarding, like no one cares.
You know, if you're strong enough and you love and you're passionate about what you do, nothing should even bother you.
Being a skater trumped everything. There always have been, you know, black and Latino and Asian skaters, you know, and most of the skaters that I've known, you know, the majority of them were. It was a mixed crew, and it was very sort of, I mean, that was another beautiful thing about it, is that they rolled with each other.
I tend to like try to keep out of like stupid little like drama and all that, like through like within culture. Cause it's like, come on, like we all skate, we all ride. Like, we're supposed to be fighting against like all the people who doubted us, the ones who hate on us, the ones who don't believe in us and tell us to give up.
With all the guys in music coming in now in skateboarding, it changed the sport a lot because it opened it up a lot to the urban kids now. But what needs to be told, especially with these musicians that are coming in the trend of it and then disappearing, is that you have to follow up. You know, you have to be behind it. If you're gonna come into skateboarding, once again, it's a lifestyle.
I remember when it was first like that whole like Lupe Pharrell surge. It was pretty. Like, everybody was like, "Yo, skateboarding!" Like everybody went to look at black skaters, and it became very popularized. And now it's just like back to, it's like, all right, cool. Like there's still black skaters coming out of the woodwork because it's becoming more and more accepted around the black community, which is really good.
Whenever a whole lot more people get into something, it gets cheaper. No matter what, because it's the same thing as music. Now everyone, like anyone, can just pick up and say I'm an artist and do something, and there's people that'll buy it. So like it's not really a talent anymore. It's not a talent business. It's like a gimmick business. With that huge group of black kids, you have those black kids who are in it just for the money, or just for the image, or just because it's swag, just because it's cool. But you also have within that ones who picked it up, or like always saw it, or always playing Tony Hawk, and just like got their imagination going, and it's become a passion. They just want to explore that.
My mom's generation, there's civil rights movements. Like the only reason why we will not surpass them is because of the fact that they fought for everything we have. It's all because of people like my mother and my and like my aunts and uncles and everyone else like them. We're gonna do things our own way. Cause I like this generation is like straight up not, it's DIY. Like the way I felt my generation has succeeded, I mean surpassed my mom's generation, is because we were the generation that helped elect the first black president. And that's pretty awesome.
She be out here with me, yo.
If I make it to the top, my family is definitely coming with me.
And she was like, am I wearing a dress?
This day I was so mad all day. I know she's the type to take care of herself. That's who she is, so I accept her for who she is. I used to feel different, but now I get over it.
I've seen people that their life just sucks because their parents didn't love them, or they just didn't care enough to watch over them. You know, they grew up from the streets, and this is why nowadays the violence is still going. You should talk to your kids, and you should just love them and still support what they're doing.
I see the brilliance in these kids, in all of them. I mean, they're like spectacular. What's criminal is that the world is not getting to benefit from what they have to offer.
All the shit I do, like the whole regular just me being a skater thing never stopped. This is just, the rest of the shit I do like for work. You know, I don't take anything too seriously because it's just life, bro. Just laugh at everything.
My last 23 years of life have been like craziest roller coaster ever. For me to like turn everything around from like a lot of negative things that happened to me like the last year and a half to this, it's really awesome. I'm gonna just keep skating, honestly. Like, ain't nothing else to do but to just keep moving forward. Next project, whatever happens, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just keep going forward. It's like, if I'm gonna go back, only way I'm going back is if it's that important. If it's like, all right, you gotta like you gotta like backtrack a little bit. All right, cool. But everyone backtrack.
But I'm not backtracking with that crazy shit. Whoop. That crazy shit. That crazy shit.
You're gonna stop until the wheels fall off.